Hi writers! Yes, I'm getting a little bit fat because of food and beer and summer, but you know, fatness comes, fatness goes. The most important, it's of course graffiti and pasta. Okay, I'm pretty hungry and I'm pretty Italian, so I will wait for the water to boil.
11 minutes later.
Finally! Don't try this shit at home.
Meanwhile,
TikTok ruins these new generations. You are definitely a ruined person. Sorry, can you do this here so that they can see your finger? Thank you very much. You can back to your drug.
11
More
minutes later.
pure poetry. So, what I'm gonna make today is insalata di pasta with pomodori, the mayonnaise, a little piece of tonno. Preparation. Now I can work. Cut a ton of tomato like this. Povero gabbiano. Then, thanks my helper, cut a little bit of formaggio. Povero gabbiano. Salt, oil, tonno, and repeat. Mixing, formaggio, mixing, pomodori, mixing, basilico. Final mixing session. Capo, vuoi controllare? You have to know that the real cooking master is my girlfriend, not me. A little fridge session for our pasta, and with a bit of mayonnaise, it's ready. Buon appetito, dear writers.
Many hours later.
Today's plan is picking up some spray cans. Yeah, today spray cans only because it's gonna be a fast afternoon action. The bucket paint is cheaper, but definitely slower. Anyway, spray cans picked. Then outfit changing, as you can see. Then watching some fresh, more or less painted panels. However, I have to complete my driving session to reach old and new homies. However, we are in the usual shopping center, abandoned spot with a super nice view. And we are late since it's 6:30 in the evening and the sun goes down at 8 p.m. So we have to hurry, but fortunately today I have my best friend with me, Mr. Chrome. And so let's paint. Color switching because the N is infamous. Sketch finally done. I was pretty fast and I'm pretty happy. As always, I will take a little break staring at my sketch to understand if all the proportions are good, and then I will fill it. But during this break, you will not be bored because I will introduce to you the new homies that I met today. What an honor, don't you think? First one, he is Bunker, a graffiti writer from the north of Italy. Really stylish guy, but he doesn't work really well when filmed. However, Bunker and Mr. Ares are making a collaboration, piece by Bunker and character by Ares. You should remember Ares from the previous videos, but the first new friend of today is Mist, a really stylish writer from the north of Italy. Funky letters, standard cap outlines and classic 3Ds. When the world will be full of shadow lovers, it will be a better place. Last but not least, there is Keko, the no-painting guy of the fellowship, but also the only one I talked to about letter structure. Makes sense, right? Okay, so, break done. I'm fucking hating these tiles because this is why. The piece is here, I fixed just few things. I made a little bit more clear the V here, and I adjusted a little bit the heart, even if it's still a little bit crooked, but I really have a problem with hearts. I don't really know how to make hearts specular. One of the sides is always a little bit fatter or thinner than the other one, but whatever, I got new homies. Today it's time to use some good old chromie. I'm super funny. I just have one chrome and I hope that's gonna be enough, but the piece is not that big, so it should be okay. Let's see. There's still a little bit of chrome inside the can. If you ask me, for some cutbacks is quite a lot, so it's totally fine. Now a little bit of background just to cover this wonderful figure on the left side, which is Pussy. To be true, the sloppy vent from the past didn't notice that there was a whole complex artwork under his piece. So I must pay some respect to the artists that made that. From left to right, as first element we find a figure that, as Vent from the past already said, is Pussy. Then we have a realistic representation of the not that immaculate conception. Yeah, a penis and a vagina. But look at the details! Last but not least, we have a masterpiece of contemporary poetry that reads: Se la vita t'inganna, fumati una canna. Which means, if the life deceive you, smoke a joint. In English it doesn't rhyme, but it's still a masterpiece. And after this due tribute, let's paint this goddamn background. The background is done. I'm really happy because it was freestyle, like all my backgrounds. I'm not a responsible planning vent, but this one color and so super easy, kinda organic background is really nice. Also because the Revolt green from Montana cans, it's really nice for these organic ones, since it's like a slime color, you know? And now outline. So I don't know which cap use. I will try some lines with the AK skinny cap or standard cap, and I will see if it's a good cap. I don't know, because it's a good cap for the sketch, one of my favorites, but for the outline it's a little bit of a question. Outline complete, and at the end this cap, it was really funny and fine, but for two reasons. The cap is nice, but it's a little bit dirty, also because I'm not the best in can control. I mean, it's not like a level 1 skinny cap, you know, which is always perfect and clean. This is not like that. This is like a banana skinny cap. I mean, if you are not close enough, it gets dirty. It fades a little bit the line, but if you use it close enough to the wall, it's really fine and funny to use. But I also have to admit that this wall is not smooth. It has a little bit of texture, and this helps a lot. Well, if the wall has a texture, it will look like the piece is definitely cleaner than it really is. Nice. Okay, the piece is more or less complete, but I made some mistakes with the shadows. So I repaired the shadow mistakes. Especially on the E there was an annoying conflict that I will show to you in the final analysis. After that, and also a few cutbacks with the chrome, I noticed that it was getting dark really quick. And as you can see, when I started doing the highlights, well, it was already completely dark. But I have to admit that the time-lapse with the phone light is really nice.
Adesso si vedrà con te, partirò, fai sta foto, che voglio mangiare,
We are completely mental okay over here. However, dear writers, I am done, as you can see over here. I don't want to fall, okay, I didn't. It's dark, but fortunately, thanks to Mr. Bunker, I was able to take a wonderful night picture, so probably I will not take a morning one. So, 1.5 hours of painting in a hurry by me looks like that. But as always, let's analyze it. And as always, let's start from the balancing. That's really nice, and I'm really proud about how I balanced it. This balancing is kind of a peacock tail balancing. B and T are slanted towards down in the middle, which is typical of that balancing, but E and N, they are basically straight. Especially the N is really boxy. Then the upper part of the V and the upper part of the T create a side upwards pushing. Another side pushing is created by this two elements of the V and of the T. These not physical composition elements create a bit of weight on both sides to give more power to the piece also at the bottom. And of course, the main element of the bottom of the piece is the heart. Is precisely in the middle of the piece. It's perfectly placed because it's hidden by the E and it's over the N itself, so it doesn't ruin any equilibrium. And another thing that I am really proud of is the E, especially how it's set in the piece. The V, the N and the T are pretty regular. They have a proper space. Otherwise the E, it's basically set between the V and the N, going a little bit over the heart, and because of it, it has a particular shape. The bottom part is cut. At the bottom of the E there is the heart that creates a full chrome part, so that there are no empty spaces that would have ruined all the balancing. So, the letters themselves. The V is really nice. I just have one regret about that, the bottom right fin, which is not straight. The bottom of the fin is a little bit thinner than the upper part. The E, as I already said, it's really nice, one of the best E I've ever done in my opinion. I'm really in love with this letter. It reminds me to calligraphy stuff. The N is fine, even if I have to say that's not my favorite letter at all, because on the left side, within the letter, there is an empty space. And in my opinion there should have been a space also here on the upper part to balance it. The only mistake, real mistake in my opinion, is that the T, the bottom part, it's too hidden by the fin of the N. Just a tiny bit, but enough to be noticed and to disturb a little bit the harmony of this piece, so this is a mistake in my opinion.
His girlfriend just brought him a gin tonic.
Yeah, it's true. Anyway, 3 more things and then I will stop bothering you about letters, dear writers. First, the shadow conflict that I was talking about, it's on this stick. Because basically when the stick are oblique, it's really hard to pronounce this fucking word, but when the stick are not straight and they are oblique, anyway, you got it, it's possible to put the shadow downwards or upwards. Of course, it depends on the angle of these sticks, but in general, in my opinion, this is the rule. And in this case, my head told me to put a tiny shadow on the upper side, but it was in conflict with the middle stick of the E, so at the end I decided to put that shadow down. But it is a bit of a conflict because the shadow is facing to the left, but for example on this part of the V there is a specular angle and the shadow is facing to the right. But basically, as SMOK always tells, graffiti elements don't have to be right, they have to look right. If you look at the shadow, it looks right. Anyway, the background is really nice. I did it freestyle. So last but not least, I know that you not Italian writers right in this moment are wondering about that sentence on the left. Well, as I already explained on Instagram, so follow me if you are not already a follower of my account, the sentence says Montreux mi sembra Detroit, which means Montreux looks like Detroit. Montreux is a hood of Naples where I painted this piece, and this sentence is a verse of a new album of my friend Joe. The song that I'm talking about is Ingrata Patria, which is one of my favorite songs of the album, and so it is a perfect match. I wanted to make a tribute to my friend Joe because I'm listening quite a lot to his album. If you want to check it out, the link is in the description. That's it for today, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed the piece and all the explanations. All the beats that I've used are from Odzer, aka Jake's Beats, so check him out as well. And guys, see you next time!